All right. Just going live here on YouTube. Welcome once again. Another week. Another teaching here on just a word. This is Kazakh Aliyahu Yasharal. And welcome to Just a Word. We have our teachings here every week. So you are welcome to join us. And we are live now on Just a Word Radio as well. Okay. So let me place a link for Just a Word TV here. Yes, so we are once again live for another teaching. Hope I will be able to convey this one properly. Oh man, I did not pin this. Oh boy. Should have pinned this before I started the video. Okay. All right. Yes, hope I will be able to convey this one, and I hope we will be able to do well with time because there are quite a few scriptures to go through, longer scriptures than normal, so we'll have to do well with the time. We like the participation of the brothers, but if anyone is participating, please make your responses as short as possible as we try to make do with the time. All right, so we're looking at how to overcome the end time sorcery against the children of Yasharal, against the entire world, against all nations, the end time sorcery. And I guess this title might seem funny to some people, may not understand exactly what we are speaking about. But in reference to Revelation 18:23, which tells us that the merchants of the earth will deceive all nations through sorcery, through medication, or through pharmaceutical. All right? And we see a very disturbing news that is now in the air that is telling us that there are people who have not been vaccinated and they are getting ill by being in close contact with those who are or who have been vaccinated. It's a mystery that many doctors are puzzling over. And they have come to one conclusion, that this thing that people have taken is nothing more than a bioweapon which will infect those who have not taken the shot. And this is a very disturbing development, because we who are diligently against this thing and diligently saying, hey, we are not going to take it, we are now looking at the possibility, hey, we could not be taking it and then someone inflicts this thing on us unknowingly. We just get this thing. So it's very, very disturbing, to say the least. Yes? Very disturbing. But the word says, faith cometh from hearing, and hearing by the word of Allah. And so here at Just a Word, we believe that all answers are given to us in the scriptures. And so whenever something comes up, we search the scriptures to see the similitude and to get an understanding of exactly what is upon us, so that we are not left fearful. Because the word says we are not given the spirit of bondage again to fear. All right? We are given the Holy Spirit, which is spirit of ruach, a spirit of power and of a sound mind. So by hearing the word, then we will get the answers from for what is happening. So let us look at exactly what I'm speaking about. And this is what I am speaking about. In this publication called Natural News, we see the headline, Extermination Machine Unmasked. Why vaccinated people are making healthy people sick. Pfizer document admits vaccinated people shed infectious particles. The spike protein is the bioweapon. So they're saying that vaccinated people will shed spike proteins, and this is what will afflict other people. Of course, this has not been studied, but there is so much evidence of people coming out that the doctors are only supposing that this is happening. So Natural News says, the vac is the bioweapon. Specifically, the spike protein is a bioactive weapon, and it is designed to spread from person to person, being transmissible from the vaccinated in order to infect the unvaccinated. Never forget that Billy Goat has long wanted to use mosquitoes to carry vax so that people could be vaccinated against their own wishes and completely without informed consent. Now it turns out they don't need mosquitoes. They have high obedience humans ready to carry out the same role. People who are infected with the mRNA vac are having their bodies turned into bioweapon factories, churning out spike protein particles which they shed through their mouths and skin and semen, by the way, infecting everyone around them. The spike protein is biologically active and causes blood clots leading to strokes, heart attacks, pulmonary embolism, and infertility effects. Pfizer's own documents reveal this phenomenon to be well known by vaccine developers. I said that word. What is now becoming obvious is that today's vax were deliberately designed to function as self-replicating vax to spread the spike protein bioweapon to those who refuse to be vaccinated. As the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists wrote last year, scientists are working on vax that spread like a disease. What could possibly go wrong? This explains all the bizarre blood clotting effects now being experienced in unvaccinated people who are in close proximity to vaccinated people. We will be reporting much more on this days ahead. So that was just a background filler on what we are actually featuring, looking at the background that motivated this teaching here today. People who have not received the vax reportedly been infected by this thing. So is Shamuel here? Okay. Let me know if you're here. Shamuel is here?
I don't think so. I don't see him here.
Okay. So you're able to read, Wayne?
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay. All right, just saddle up. I'm coming up. All right. So we're gonna start with the word because we're gonna unravel that and we're gonna get more understanding of situations like this as it comes to the scriptures. And we're going to start with at a familiar place. As usual, each one of our teachings, we start at some basic fundamental scriptures that we use over and over, but that have such great fundamental value. They give a strong foundation to whatever we are presenting. So there is a never-ending conspiracy between the enemies of Yasharal. And take note that this conspiracy that is in the world, it is against all nations of the world, but it is a conspiracy against Israel primarily. But Israel is scattered through the four corners of the earth. And those who are ruling this new kingdom, this fourth industrial revolution, the fourth kingdom to come, that new world order, one slave system wants to enslave every human being. But it is the same principle that they use against Israel, Yasharal, that they are going to use now against the entire world. So this that is for the world is the same principle they use for Yasharal. So for us, the set apart people of Yasharal, we will look at what the Bible says about us to get a picture of what is happening to the world. Psalm 83, verse 1. Read, please.
A song of or psalms of Asaph. Keep not those silent. Keep not those silence, O Aloha.
Then
Hello?
Go ahead.
Something take over the screen. Mayo?
Could you all please mute your mics, please, except Brother Wayne?
I repeat. A song or psalms of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahuwah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahuwah.
Oh, Alua.
Aloha.
Verse 2.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
All right. So the enemies of the Most High always turn on his people. So they hate him and they hate his people, and they take crafty counsel. They come together and plan against his people, his hidden ones. Verse 4.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more in remembrance.
So these people use all types of strategies, whatever strategy they can use. The whole outcome is that Israel is no more in remembrance. And one of the strategies, of course, a popular one is this replacement theology, that Christianity is now the church, Christianity is now the chosen people, and the chosen people of Israel have been rejected, and it's now about Christianity. That's replacement theology, to let Israel no more be in remembrance. Verse 5.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
All right, they come together with one consent as confederates. And I forgot to mention, one of the ways in which they let Israel be cut off the map is the use of sorcery, divination, enchantments. That's what we're going to look at today. All right? Because the bioweapon that they're using is as a result of their sorcery. Continue.
The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes.
All right, so what we're going to look at, Edom, the Ishmaelites, the Moab, for this is the Moabites. This is going to take up a big part of what we're going to look at today. We normally look at Edom. Today we're going to look more at Moab, the action of Moab, because Moab leans heavily on sorcery. And these are the nations who come together, and these nations will come together in the end time against Yasharal. These nations today, many of them are hidden. We don't know them, but the spirit of these nations is in the leaders of the world today. Verse 7.
Gibal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Amalek again. Yeah, we're going to deal with Amalek as well. And Ashur.
Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot.
All right. So Ashur has joined and help the children of Lot. And the children of Lot are Moab and Ammon. These are the two children of Lot. So Ashur has joined and helped them. Verse 9.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison.
All right. What we're going to understand is that over time, the Most High will turn and protect his people. And they are referring here to some incidents in which the Most High turned to protect his people and destroyed these people. So David is telling them to remember what he did to them. So he should do to them the same as he did to them then. Continue.
Which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth.
Continue.
Make their noble like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes as Ziba and as Zalmuna,
12.
who said, let us take to ourselves the house of Alua in possession.
All right, this is it. They want to possess Yahuwah's houses. They want to possess Yahuwah's people. Yahuwah is going to destroy them. And this is what they're going to be using this sorcery for in the end time. The end time kingdom is promised to be turned over to Yasharal. These people know that, so they are trying to set up a stronghold in order to get themselves to rule and control the world. Verse 13.
O my Alua, make them like a wheel as the stubble before the wind.
All right, so what is that actually are going to say? That all these things that these people are doing right now, it's not going to prosper. And we're going to show you that his true set apart people, it's not going to touch them. Verse 14.
As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountain on fire.
15.
So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm.
See, continue.
Fill their faces with shame, that they may see thy name, O Yahuwah. Let them
Right,
be.
This is another thing with the heathen. The Most High deals with the heathen that way so that they may seek him. Yeah? Verse 17.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Verse 18.
That men may know that thou, whose name alone is, what's that one?
You don't pronounce that. It's Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
That's supposed to be there.
Yeah, are the Most High over all the earth.
All right. So, these nations come together. They conspire against the Most High. But as we see here, David is telling us that they are not going to prosper in their thing that they are doing, and the Most High is going to put them to shame and let them perish. All right, just laying the foundation of the conspiracy of the nations. And that is what is happening today with this Mark of the Beast, Vax. It's a conspiracy of nations coming together, the 7 heads of the beast coming together, and the entire nations of the world, all nations of the world coming together to conspire to bring a sorcery upon the whole earth in order that a few mankind can put, Tanya, a few of mankind can partake of a world slavery system. All right. But we have to establish that Yasharal is powerless when they forsake the Most High. We're going to see variations of this because we're showing how to overcome. All right? And the primary way, the way you do not want to take is to forsake the Most High. This will get you surely destroyed along with the enemy. Judges 2:11-15. Go ahead, please.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahuwah and served Baalim.
All right. Verse 12.
And they forsook Yahuwah, Allah, of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahuwah to anger.
Continue.
And they forsook Yahuwah and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of Yahuwah was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
All right. So when the enemy is coming with sorcery, when the enemy is coming with something to destroy us, when we are in right standing with the Most High, we can stand before the enemy. But when we are not in right standing, when we forsake the Most High, when we serve other gods, when we go into idolatry, when we go into religions, the anger of the Most High will be hot against us, and we will not be able to stand against our enemies, and we will be spoiled. Verse 15.
Whithersoever they went out, the hand of Yahuwah was against them for evil, as Yahuwah had said, and as Yahuwah had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed.
All right? So wherever they go, he will be against them for evil. So this evil that is upon the face of the earth, those of his people who are gone astray, those who are astray, we were in captivity, and we were following the religions under the curses. We were following the religions of the nations in whom that brought us into captivity. But he woke us up, and he showed us the way of truth and told us to come out of her, my people. Now, those people who refuse to come out of her are in trouble because they continue to worship the gods of the other nations. Yeah? Will the Most High take them out of this situation? Will he protect them throughout this evil? That is the question. Yeah? 2 Kings 17:9-23. Israel cast off. 2 Kings 17:9-23. All right, we're going to continue with the disobedience and the unrighteousness. Read, please.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against Yahuwah their Elohim, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchmen to the fenced city.
Notice they did it secretly. But we know that Yahuwah knows the heart. Yahuwah sees everything. All right? So they did it secretly. That means they pretended to worship Allah. Just as when the Most High took Ezekiel into the temple and showed him and said, "Do you see what I see, son of man?" And you saw them worshiping the sun, etc. They were doing these things secretly. They were pretending to worship Allah. Likewise, today in religion, a lot of us, it's the same God we're serving, pretending to worship Allah. But worshiping other gods, refusing to let go of the name of other gods. As we were discussing the other day, there's some Christians, they say they keep the feast, etc., but they refuse to let go of the names of the other gods. This is a similar situation. Secretly worshiping those gods under the pretense that they are worshiping Allah. Continue, please.
And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree.
Yeah? Continue.
And there they burn incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom Yahuwah carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke Yahuwah to anger.
All right. Because Yahuwah has given us his Torah. We have his laws to know what is right from what is wrong. Verse 12.
For they served idols, whereof Yahuwah had said unto them, Ye shall not do this thing.
Continue.
Yet Yahuwah testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servant, the prophets.
Isn't this us here? Yep. Isn't this us, the people who are going out to them and saying, hey, turn from your evil ways, keep his commandments and his statutes and his law? Yeah? Keep it. This is us he sent out. Notwithstanding, verse 14.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in Yahuwah, their Elohim.
Ah, same thing here. Same thing is happening today. When we speak to them, they don't want to hear. They lock their hearts, their ears, everything. All right? And what did they do here?
And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahuwah had charged them that they should not do like them.
Isn't this speaking about today? What is the difference between this and today?
No difference, same thing's going on.
Same thing. They rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against him. And they followed vanity and became vain. This is why we have this Christianity has gone into a prostitution religion, prostituting themselves after money, going a whoring after money and materialism. Yeah? Verse 16.
16. And they left all the commandments of Yahuwah, their Elohim, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal.
All right, no difference. Serving Baal today under the name of the Lord. Verse 17.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to the devil in the sight of Yahuwah to provoke him to anger.
All right, and we're going to look at divination and enchantments, because these are what are happening in the end times. They are using divination, enchantments, and sorcery in order to get the children of Israel and to get the entire world into their new world order. Verse 18.
Therefore, Yahuwah was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
So we see in this time. So we see in this time, in this critical time, he is going to be angry, YASHARAL. So when this bioweapon starts spreading, those with whom he's angry are not going to be protected. Verse 19.
Also, Judah kept not the commandments of Yahuwah their Elohim, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made.
Continue.
And Yahuwah rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight.
Now we have the spoilers here today. This bioweapon that is going around is for spoilers. Right? It's in the hand of the spoilers. No, it is our decision. What will it be? Will we be walking like this and leaving ourselves unexposed? That is the question. Verse 21.
21. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahuwah, and made them sin, a great sin.
22.
22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them.
All right. So even though you're walking in the sins that you inherited, you are to turn away from them. Verse 23.
23. Until Yahuwah removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants, the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
All right. So that is the result of it. We just want to see the process of the Most High, that the Most High executes whenever we go against him. Now remember earlier we said Israel used divination and enchantments. So let's look at the law against divination, enchantment, and witchcraft. Devarim 18, 10 to 13. Read, please.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch.
All right, we're going to look at these: divination, enchantment, and witchcraft or sorcery. Continue.
Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirit, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
So all the things that we are looking at are spiritual abominations. All of these are spiritual abominations, not physical. Verse 12.
For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahuwah. And because of these abominations, Yahuwah thy Elohim doth drive them out from before thee.
Verse 13.
Thou shalt be perfect with Yahuwah thy Elohim.
Read it again.
Thou shalt be perfect with Yahuwah thy Elohim.
Read it again.
Thou shalt be perfect with Yahuwah thy Elohim.
Thou shalt be perfect. People are saying, oh, no one is perfect. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. You shall be perfect with Yahuwah thy Elohim. That means you are to obey all his statutes, his commandments. All right? And we're going to see that being perfect with Elohim is what protects us from the sorcery. So let's look at the meaning of divination. Divination comes from the Hebrew kesem, which it means a lot. Also, divination, including its fee, oracle, reward of divination, divine sentence, witchcraft. That doesn't tell us much, but we go to the dictionary. It says the art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge, usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers, right? So it's foreseeing and foretelling future events with the aid of supernatural powers. Then we also have sorcery. Now let's look at enchantment first. Enchantment. Enchantment comes from the Hebrew cheber, from a society, also a spell, charmer, company. So enchantment is a spell. This is what these people use in the end times: divination, enchantment, and sorcery, in order to get the children of Israel, to get at the children of Israel, and indeed to get at the world. Because a few months ago, we did a teaching entitled The Mark, the Mask, and the Days of Noah, something like that, where we looked at the use of the mask for enchantment, the use of the mask as a ritual, as in an occultic ritual, to get as an enchantment, to get people into obedience, to get people submissive. Sit up. To get people submissive, I get something that I can lean on a chair. To get people submissive to do their will. All right? So, enchantment, divination, sorcery, this is what these people use in the end time to get their will. But people don't see it as being this. They just see them as a normal life. Oh, you have to wear a mask because it protects you and all of that. No, it's enchantment. It is a spiritual abomination. So we have sorcery is the other one that they use against us. Meaning of sorcery, and with this sorcery here, all right, the meaning of sorcery, let me get this first, is from the Hebrew keshef, which means magic, sorcery, witchcraft. Okay? But the book of Revelation, you giving the Greek equivalent, use the Greek word for pharmacy, for sorcery, which is pharmakia. And pharmakia gives us a more specific meaning to let us know what the sorcery is in the end time, it gives us a meaning that lets us understand it is a word pharmakia, which comes from G53332, which is medication, or pharmacy. That is by extension magic, literal or figurative, sorcery, witchcraft. All right? So the medication, the pharmaceutical industry is sorcery. So with this thing, this vax that they're giving, they came with the disease, then they came with the enchantment, which is the mask, which was to get you to be submissive to their will. That is the enchantment. And then they brought on the sorcery, which is the medication, the vac. Okay? That's how they work. But to us, to the natural man, it's just business as usual. But it is sorcery when you get the understanding. All right? But the Most High had promised from in the beginning, from in the book of Exodus, that he would send a prophet from among us, from among our people, so that we can overcome divination, sorcery, and enchantment. Deuteronomy 18:14-19.
Scroll up.
Read, please.
Ready?
Yeah.
For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observes of time and unto diviners. But as for thee, O the Yahuwah thy Elohim, have not suffered thee so to do.
All right. So it was the same thing he was speaking about. Divination, observer of time, of enchanters, witch, wizard, charmer, consulter with familiar spirits, necromancer. So he was saying that the nations which they will possess, this is what they do. And the nations among whom we are captive today, this is also what they do, but in a modern way, the modern way that does not bring to mind that this is exactly what they are doing. So in order for us to overcome, he promised from in the days of Moses that for us to overcome this sorcery in the end time, he's going to send a new prophet. Read verse 15.
15. Yahuwah thy Elohim will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, and to him ye shall hearken.
All right, so he's going to raise up the prophet. But the most important thing about the prophet is that unto him what?
Unto him ye shall hearken.
You must listen to him. He did not send the Messiah here for us to take him and worship him and don't listen to him. We must listen to him. And it is by listening to him that we will be delivered from divination, enchantment, observers of time, necromancy, all of those things. Verse 16.
According to all that thou desirest of Yahuwah thy Elohim in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuwah my Elohim, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not.
All right, so because Elohim was too terrible for them, the Most High is sending a prophet like unto Moses. He sent Moses in this time, and he's going to send back another prophet. That is Yahushua, the Messiah. Verse 17.
And Yahuwah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken.
Verse 18.
I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
All right, so that's why the Messiah said, whatever he hears, that is what he speaks. All right. Verse 19.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
All right. So you see, this is what Shaul was teaching. Shaul was preaching, following the Messiah. Follow the Messiah. Follow the Messiah. Not my righteousness, which is of the law, but his righteousness. So for us in the end time now, who are faced with this bioweapon all around us, we have to hearken to the words of the Messiah. Right? Right, Brother Wayne?
Indeed, indeed.
We must hearken to the words of the Messiah. So,
Forever.
we're going to look at...
In fact, let's not leave off the fact that it should be forever until death.
Yep. Let's look now at the fact that we're going to look at divination against Israel. Divination, enchantment against Israel. How it was in the scriptures, because the scriptures are there as our guide. As it was at that time, so shall it be. So we just need to look at the example there in the scripture to see how it will be for us in the end times. All right? Everything repeats itself. So, and we also have to understand that things will not come exactly, scriptures might not come exactly as it is, but because of how scriptures are and Yahuwah never changes, we will get an understanding or an idea of what is happening or what is coming by just reading these scriptures. So let's look at divination against YASHARAL. Two ways. Yechezkel 21, 18 to 32. Read, please.
Ready? 18. The word of Yahuwah came unto me again, saying, Also, thou son of man, appoint thee 2 ways that the sword of the king of Babylon may come. Both twain shall come forth out of the land, and choose thou a place. Choose it at the head of the way.
No. You have to get every word right. Both twain shall come forth of one land. It's very important. Start over 19,
okay,
please.
Let me do 19 over. Also, thou son of man, appoint thee 2 ways that the sword of the king of Babylon may come. Both twain shall come forth out of one land, and choose thou a place. Choose it at the head of the way to the city.
Continue.
Appoint a way that the sword may come to Rabbah of the Ammonites, and to Judah in Jerusalem the defenced.
All right, so the sword is going 2 places. Verse 21.
For the king of Babylon stood at the parting of the way, at the head of the 2 ways, to use divination. He made these arrows bright. He consulted with images. He looked in the liver.
All right, so he stood ready to go the 2 ways. And he's using divination. We're going to see the effect of using divination against YASHARAL when YASHARAL is in unrighteousness and when YASHARAL is in righteousness. Verse 22.
At his right hand was the divination for Jerusalem, to appoint captains, to open the mouth in the slaughter, to lift up the voice with shouting, to appoint battering rams against the gate, to cause a mount and to build a fort.
All right, divination against Jerusalem. Verse 23 says,
And it shall be unto them as a false divination in their sight, to them that have sworn oaths, but he will call to remembrance the iniquity, that they may be taken.
All right. So, this is when Israel is in iniquity. The Most High does not protect them. He will call to remembrance the iniquity, that they may be taken. Taken. You got it? So when this thing has come up on this earth, when this bioweapon comes on this earth, if in actuality it is, right? He is going to call to mind the iniquity of those around. I'm telling you, the time is up. It's a march to righteousness. Like it should be a mad rush to righteousness right now, Brother Wayne.
Indeed.
We shouldn't have to be telling people to deny themselves right now.
Yep.
Read on and let's see.
Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Allah, because he have made your iniquity to be remembered, in that your transgressions are discovered, so that in all your doings your sins do appear, because I say that ye are come to remembrance, ye shall be taken with the hand.
Whoa. Wow. Verse 25.
And thou profane and thou profane wicked prince of Israel, whose day is come, when iniquity shall have an end.
Thus saith Yahuwah Allah. Continue.
Thus say Yahuwah Allah, remove the diadem and take off the crown. This shall not be the same. Exalt him that is low and abase him that is high.
Continue.
I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him.
All right, so you gotta get rid of the wicked and the unrighteous until the righteous man comes. Then the righteous man will get it. Verse 28.
And thou, son of man, prophesy and say, thus say Yahuwah Allah, concerning the Ammonites and concerning their reproach, even say thou, the sword is drawn, for the slaughter it is furbished to consume because of the glittering.
All right. So, Ammonites, this is the other way now. This is how he's going to deal with the people who are trying to afflict the righteous. Verse 29.
Whilst they see vanity unto thee, whilst they divine a lie unto thee, to bring thee upon the necks of them that are slain, of the wicked, whose day is come, when their iniquity shall have an end.
All right, so here it is now. These people are trying to bring righteous Israel. They are trying to bring them, use a lie to get them to be destroyed along with the wicked. Yeah? Verse 30.
Shall I cause it to return into his shade? I will judge thee in the place where thou was created, in the land of thy nativity.
Continue.
And I will pour out mine indignation upon thee. I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath, and deliver thee into the hand of brutish men and skillful to destroy.
Continue.
Thou shalt be for fuel to the fire. Thy blood shall be in the midst of the land. Thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, Yahuwah, have spoken it.
All right, so this is when it's going against the righteous people, trying to get them to be destroyed along with the wicked. So he turns his wrath upon them. What we're trying to show you, let it shape up, is that righteousness is the key. It's just straight righteousness. That is the key to have us delivered from anything that the enemy or the wicked has to offer. All right. So the next one we're going to look at divination against faithless Israel. We're going to see a promise for Israel to overcome. But even when they're overcoming and divination is used against them, they are going to lose the battle. It's a very interesting passage. 2 Kings 3, 2-27. Read, please.
And the sons of the prophet that were at Bethel came forth to Elijah and said unto him, knowest thou that Yahuwah will take away thy master from thy head today? And he said, yea, I know it. Hold ye your peace.
And what is this? Let me see if this is the right one. 2 Kings. That doesn't look. Where was I? 2 Kings
3.
Let me see something. Just want to ensure that it's the right one because it doesn't. 2 to 27. All right. 2 Kings. All right, let's see. Doesn't look. All right, continue.
4. And Elijah said unto him, Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee. For Yahuwah
All right, hold
had
on,
said,
hold on. Hold on. No.
he said it is 2 Kings 3. Brother B,
No, that's the wrong one.
2 Kings 3.
I wonder if it's 1 Kings. No, it's not this one. 2 Kings 3:27. It's 3, not 2.
Yeah, somebody was saying it.
2 Kings 3. Oh, that's what you said?
Yeah, somebody was saying it. I was trying to bring your attention.
Oh. 2 Kings 3. Oh, 2 to 27. Yeah. Yeah. Read, please.
And he wrought evil in the sight of Yahuwah, but not like his father and like his mother. For he put away the image of Baal that his father had made.
All right. This was speaking about Yaharam, the son of Ahab. And we know Ahab was probably one of the wickedest kings that Israel saw. Yeah. So this was speaking about his son. Continue.
Nevertheless, he cleaved unto the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which made Israel to sin. He departed not therefrom.
Okay, so we want to establish that Yehoram or Jehoram was very sinful. Just laying that foundation. Verse 4.
And Misha, king of Moab, was a sheep master, and rendered unto the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams with the wool.
Wow. Verse 5.
But it came to pass, when Ahab was dead, that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel.
Yeah, just continue. I'll stop you.
And King Jehoram went out of Samaria the same time and numbered all Israel. And he went and sent to Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, saying, the king of Moab hath rebelled against me. Wilt thou go with me against Moab to battle? And he said, I will go up. I am as thou art, my people as thy people, and my horses as thy horses. And he said, which way shall we go up? And he answered, the way through the wilderness of Edom.
All right, so they are coming together now to war against Edom because under Ahab, Moab was tributary to the children of Israel. So when Ahab died, he decided that he wanted no more. He wanted out of it this time. So Jehoram made this alliance with the king of Judah for them to go together as one Israel to fight against Moab. Continue.
39. So the king of Israel went, and the king of Judah, and the king of Edom, and they fetched a compass of 7 days' journey. And there was no water for the host and for the cattle that followed them.
All right, so even Edom joined them. So it's a three against 1. Verse 10.
And the king of Israel said, alas, that Yahuwah had called these three kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab.
All right. So they were assured that they would win their defeat in Moab, but the king of Israel doubted, lost faith because he didn't have any water, right? So they were weary and thirsty, and so he lost faith. Verse 11.
But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of Yahuwah, that we may inquire of Yahuwah by him? And one of the king of Israel's servants answered and said, here is Elijah, the son of Shaphat, which poured water on the hand of Elijah.
Continue.
And Jehoshaphat said, the word of Yahuwah is with him. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat and the king of Edom went down to him. And Elijah said unto the king of Israel, what have I to do with thee? Get thee to the prophets of thy father, and to the prophets of thy mother. And the king of Israel said unto him, nay, for Yahuwah hath called these three kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab.
He had no faith whatsoever. You're going to war with people and you believe that you lose already. Verse 14.
And Elijah said, as Yahuwah of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, surely were it not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, I would not look toward thee, nor see thee.
15.
But now bring me a minstrel. And it came to pass when the minstrel played, that the hand of Yahuwah came upon him.
You see how important music is? When the music played, the hand of Yahuwah came upon him. Verse 16.
And he said, thus saith Yahuwah, make this valley full of ditches.
Why you stop?
Thou sayest,
hello?
For thus saith Yahuwah, ye shall not see wind water, that he may drink, both ye and your cattle and your beast. And this is but a light thing in the sight of Yahuwah.
No,
he will deliver.
Wayne, read it over, please.
Which
17.
one?
17.
For thus saith Yahuwah, ye shall not see wind, neither shall ye see rain. Yet that valley shall be filled with water, that ye may drink, both ye and your cattle and your beast.
Yeah.
18. And this is but a light thing in the sight of Yahuwah. He will deliver the Moabites also into your hand. And he shall smite every fenced city and every choice city, and shall fell every good tree, and stop all wells of water, and mar every good piece of land with stones. And it came to pass in the morning, when the meat offering was offered, that, behold, there came water by the way of Edom, and the country was filled with water. And when all the Moabites heard that the king were come up to fight against them, they gathered all that were able to put on armor and upward, and stood in the border.
Yep.
22. And they rose up early in the morning, and the sun shone upon the water, and the Moabites saw the water on the other side as red as blood. And they said, this is blood. The kings are surely slain, and they have smitten one another. Now therefore Moab to the spoil. And when they came to the camp of Israel, the Israelites rose up and smote the Moabites, so that they fled before them, and they went forward, smiting the Moabites even in their country. And they beat, And they beat down the cities, and on every good pieces of land cast every man his stone, and filled it, and they stopped all the wells of water, and felled all the good trees. Only in Kiraset left they the stone thereof. Howbeit the slinger went about it, and smote it. And when the king of Moab saw that the battle was too sore for him, he took with him 700 men that drew sword to break through even unto the king of Edom, but they could not. Then he took his eldest son that should have reigned in his stead, and offered him for a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was great indignation against Israel, and they departed from him and returned to their own land.
All right. What do you understand from this last verse here, Wayne?
The very last verse about return to their own land. And he
took
also,
his eldest son that should have reigned in his stead and offered him.
sacrificed his son, right?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. So we see where he sacrificed his son, right?
Yeah. And there was great indignation against Israel.
Yep.
All right, what we see there is divination, enchantment, sorcery, witchcraft working against Israel. So they were winning the battle until the king of Midian the king of Midian decided to sacrifice his son. All right? So that brought great indignation against Israel. Indignation means anger. All right? Because of this unjust thing, there was great anger against Israel. So Israel had to depart from Moab and return to their own land. Because Jehoram, his ways was not perfect before Yahuwah. Neither were the ways of his allies. Their ways were not perfect before Yahuwah. So the divination was able to work against them. Saying this to say for us today, if our ways are not found perfect before the Most High, we will not abide in his secret place. We will not be protected from the way of harm from the wicked ones. All right?
Indeed.
And let's look at the end time. Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying also when we heard about people trying to cast out demons, if their life is not clean, they will be beaten up by those same demons.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Isaiah 10, 20 to 25. Now, this is speaking about end time remnant of Israel, of Yasharal. The end time remnant of Yasharal. Let's go. Isaiah 10, 20.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahuwah, the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
End time shall stay upon Yahuwah. All right? 21.
The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty Aluah.
So what we are seeing today, being defined today, with this mark of the beast, Vax, etc., and all of this thing that's bioweapon, we are going to see a remnant. It's not going to be those who say, oh, I'm not taking this, oh, I'm not taking this, and those who are living in unrighteousness and refuse to seek Yahuwah with all their hearts, minds, and souls. There's going to be a remnant of those who are willing to give up everything, the poor, the afflicted, remnant. It will be those who are willing to give up everything to seek Yahuwah, who will be this remnant that shall return. Continue.
22. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
All right. And when I think it's in Deuteronomy 28, is it? When it says the Most High will do his act, his strange act. These strange things that we see happening on this earth, the consumption decree, this coronavirus consumption that is decreed upon the whole earth, it says it will overflow with righteousness, because it is going to be the righteous who are going to turn to the Most High. It will be a righteous remnant. Listen, people, we are telling you, it should be a rush to righteousness right now. Yeah, a rush away from the ways that we used to live. This world should mean nothing to us right now. It is only our souls that really matter. Nothing else but our souls matter right now. Read 22 again, please.
For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
All right. Righteous remnant, verse 23.
For Yahuwah Allah of hosts shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst of all the land.
All right. In Isaiah 28, it says a consumption determined upon all the earth. Now, here is what he says. To those who are the remnant, those who are in righteousness, here is what he says. Verse 24.
Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Allah of hosts, O my people that dwelleth in Zion, be not afraid of the Assyrian. He shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee, after the manner of Egypt. For yet a little while, and the indignation
No. For yet a very.
Okay, for yet a very, yeah, that is very important. A very little while, and the indignation shall cease, and mine anger in their destruction.
All right, so whatever is coming upon the remnant of Israel in the latter last days, it's going to be for a very little while. Right? And the indignation shall cease, and his anger in their destruction. Verse 26, let me see. Did I say 25?
Yeah, that was 25.
Yeah, it goes to 26.
And Yahuwah of hosts shall stir up a scourge for him according to the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Oreb. And as his rod was upon the sea, so shall he lift it up after the manner of Egypt.
Verse 27.
And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing.
Anointing shall come upon his people, and these Assyrians who try to destroy us will be destroyed. All right? You don't touch his righteous remnant. Destruction again for the Assyrians. Judith 9, 7 to 14. You don't touch his righteous remnant. Read, please.
For behold, the Assyrians are multiplied in their power. They are exalted with horse and man. They glory in the strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear and bow and sling, and know not that thou art Yahuwah that breakest the battle. Yahuwah is thy name.
All right. So they trust in their own strength. All right? Always against the people of the Most High, not knowing that they're fighting against the Most High. The Alua of armies. Verse 8.
Throw down their strength in thy power, and bring down their force in thy wrath. For they have purpose to defile thy sanctuary, and to pollute the tabernacle where thy glorious name rested, and to cast down with sword the horn of thy altar.
All right, so where is our tabernacle and our sanctuary now? Where
Here.
is it? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying here
Where?
in this group where we gather to fellowship.
Ah. All right, let me show you where it is. Let me get it quickly. No. Read verse 19, please.
Verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of Alua, and he are not your own?
So where is our sanctuary at this time?
That's in our body.
All right. So the Assyrians are polluting our bodies. What are they using to pollute our bodies today?
All those food and stuff that we intake.
Yeah, but more currently in the news right now.
The medication, sorcery, stuff like that.
The vax.
Yeah.
All right, read verse 8 again.
Verse 8. Throw down their strength in thy power, and bring down their force in thy wrath. For they have purpose to defile thy sanctuary, and to pollute the tabernacle where thy glorious name resteth, and to cast down with sword the horn of thy altar.
Continue.
Behold their pride, and send thy wrath upon their heads. Give into mine hand, which am a widow, the power that I have conceived.
All right. All right, that's enough. We don't want to get into the other parts of it. All right, so again, we see destruction for the Assyrians. Let's see an account of destruction for Babylon, Isaiah 47, 5 to 15. What we are seeing is destruction, Isaiah 47. What we are seeing is destruction. Destruction for those who want to pollute the people of the Most High. Verse 5, read please.
Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms.
Just continue.
I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand, thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient as thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
All right, so this is Babylon, the same thing today. Because we know we are in Babylon today, we are in captivity today. And it's the same way the Most High has polluted his inheritance, he has polluted us, brought us over here, give us to worship other gods, left us to be destroyed by these people. But they showed us no mercy. And upon the old people, they laid heavy yokes. Not even the old, as the Most High had said before he brought us into captivity, that these will not even have any regard for the old, nor for the very young. Continue, please.
And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
And this is how these nations act today. These nations are ruling the world. They act as if they will be here forever. And they act proud as if they are the Almighty. No regard for the Most High whatsoever, as if he doesn't exist. Verse 8.
Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that says in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Continue.
But these two things shall come to thee in moments in one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
Whoa. Babylon use a multitude of what?
Sorceries.
Oh, and enchantments.
Yep.
That's what they use to keep the world together, to keep the world and resolve their power. But in the end, these enchantments and these sorceries are not going to be able to come upon his people. Verse 10.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Isn't this Babylon today?
Yep.
Trusting in their wickedness.
And what they say
and using
goes.
and using their knowledge, their technology. It's their technology, their wisdom and knowledge that has perverted them. And they act as if they are it and there's no one else, that they are the Almighty. Verse 11.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
All right, it's going to creep in upon them. When they think it's peace and safety, then what?
Sudden destruction.
Sudden destruction upon them like travail upon a woman with child. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
What we're trying to say is that enchantments and divination and sorceries have always been with these nations. These nations dwell in the dark realms. And these divinations, these sorceries have been using on people to keep people subservient to them. Using sorceries such as the fluoride in the water to get people to be passive and submissive to them. A whole lot of things these people use in order to get the world to be calm and to be obedient to them. As we had said earlier in the end times, in order to get people to this point where they can go a whoring after their things, they have done a whole lot of sorceries with the mass to get people to conform to whatever they say and to do whatever they say. Through the masks, they now have a whole worldwide army of bulldogs. These are people who defend them no matter what. Yeah? Through enchantments and sorceries. Verse 13.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
So these are who they utilize. Astrologers, stargazers, monthly prognosticators. Verse 14.
Behold, they shall be a stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it.
15.
15. Thus shall he be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee.
And notice again there we have merchants.
Yep.
Very important, the merchants aligned with the sorcery and the enchantment. Revelation 13 tells us about the merchants, the businessmen, who deceive the world with sorceries or the medications. Yes? Babylon will be destroyed. This will all be destroyed. So we're going to use a very famous account to show that in the end, no divination, enchantment, or sorceries will work against the children of Israel. when Israel is found righteous before the Most High, the righteous remnant of the Most High, no divination will work against them. None. So they will try to pollute us and it cannot work. Numbers 22, 35 to 41. Go ahead.
And the angel of Yahuwah said unto, can you hear me?
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay. And the angel of Yahuwah said unto,
hold on. Please mute your mics, please, except Brother Wayne.
Never, ever
All right,
work.
so we know the story of Balak and Balaam or Balaam, when Balak the king of Moab hired Balaam to curse the children of Israel. All right, and the Most High told Balaam that he cannot curse the children of Israel, and Balak persisted over and over again to try to get Balaam to curse the children of Israel, because the children of Israel had just come off the destruction of Og, the king of Bashan, and Sihon, the king of the Amorites. So Moab was worried, and the children of Israel were many at the time, and Moab was sure that they could not defeat Israel. So the only way to defeat Israel was to use sorcery, divination, and enchantments against them. And that is what we're seeing happening today. In the end time, they are giving people this sorcery in order to get us away from the Most High. Yes? In order to get us away from the Most High. Continue, please.
and the angel, you're gone up too much. Okay. And the angel of Yahuwah said unto Balaam, go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak unto thee, thou shalt speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him unto a city of Moab, which is in the border of Arnon, which is in the utmost coast.
All right. Oh, and when Balak heard that Balaam went out to meet him unto a city of Moab, which is in the border of Arnon, which is in the utmost coast. All right. Verse 37.
And Balak said unto Balaam, did I not earnestly send unto thee to call thee? Wherefore camest thou not unto me? Am I not able indeed to promote thee or to honor? And
continue.
And Balaam said unto Balak, lo, I am come unto thee. Have I now any power at all to say anything? The word that Allah putteth in my mouth, that shall I speak. Scroll up.
Oh.
39. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came unto Kirjathrozoth. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and sent to Balaam and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal, that thence he might see the utmost part of the people.
So Balak was determined, he wanted to curse Israel. Continue.
What number are we now?
Numbers 23:1.
Okay. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken. And Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. And Balaam said unto Balak, stand by, stand by thy burnt offering, and I will go. Peradventure, Yahuwah will come to meet me, and whatsoever he showeth me, I will tell thee. And he went to an high place. And Aluah met Balaam, and he said unto him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have offered upon every altar a bullock and a ram. And Yahuwah put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, Return unto Balak, and thus thou shalt speak. And he returned unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt offering, he and all the princes of Moab.
Burnt sacrifice.
And he took up his parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, had brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse me Jacob, and come, defy Israel. How shall I curse whom Aluah had not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom Yahuwah had not defied?
Very important. Very important. When you are in righteousness, no one can curse you. No one can curse who Aluah hath not cursed, or defy who Yahuwah has not defied. It's a time for righteousness, people. It's a time to be called into this elite group of people, those who go through the narrow gate, because everyone else is going to be left exposed, and everyone else is going to be left to destruction. I don't know if people are seeing what I'm seeing. I'm here every day and I'm saying everybody's just going about their business. When you speak to people, even in this group, you speak to people, it's like the regular days. You know, you speak to people and then, yeah, good word, and then business as usual. They don't realize time's up.
Yep. It's already closing in, bro.
Yes. Verse 9.
For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations.
Set apart from the nations. Israel is set apart. So the nations who are susceptible to all sorts of problems and everything, Israel, YASHARAL, is different from them, set apart and protected by the Most High. That's the remnant, people. That's where you want to be. You want to be the remnant, the righteous remnant. Verse 10.
Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like this.
Like his,
sorry. What happened is something just caught me away when I see, let me die the death of the righteousness, and that just blew me away. So,
all right, tell me what you think about that. Oh.
No, I mean, it is just what I'm speaking about these last days. Let me die in righteousness.
Yes, that's where we need to be.
Yep.
Verse 11.
And Balak said to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast blessed them.
No. Read 11 again.
And Balak said unto Balaam, What hast thou done unto me? I took thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast blessed them altogether.
Verse 12.
And he answered and said, Must I not take heed to speak that which Yahuwah had put in my mouth?
All right. Go on again. And Balak.
And Balak said unto him, Come, I pray thee, with me unto another place, from whence thou mayst see them. Thou shalt see but the utmost part of them, and shall not see them all, and curse me them from thence.
So Balak was saying, okay, maybe if you only see a few of them, then you can curse them. So I took him to a place, so he only saw the last part of the camp. So even to curse a few, they would be satisfied. Verse 14.
And he brought him into the field of Zophim to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. And he said unto Balak, stand here by thy burnt offering, while I meet Yahuwah yonder. And Yahuwah met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, go again unto Balak, and say thus. And when he came to him, behold, he stood by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said unto him, what had Yahuwah spoken? And he took up his parable, and said, rise up, Balak, and hear, hearken unto me, thou son of Zippor. Yahuwah is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Had he said, and shall he not do it? Or had he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
And this is why the Bible is so powerful, because once he has spoken, he will do it. Whatever it says he will do here. That's why it is madness, utter madness to reject the New Testament, as the Christians have done. Utter madness. All
I mean
right.
the Old Testament.
The Old Testament, sorry. All right. All right, go ahead, Wayne.
Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
He had not beheld iniquity in Jacob, neither had he seen perverseness in Israel. Yahuwah, his Aluah, is with him, and the shout of a king is among them.
I know this is a very important statement. Verse 21, take your time and read it again. He hath not.
He hath not beheld iniquity in Jacob.
That is why we have to be in total righteousness, people. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect. Now is the time for perfection. Now is the time to strive for perfection more than anything else, to get rid of every one of the just that is upon us. That is why the Most High protected, they could not curse Israel, because no iniquity was found in them. Neither hath any perverseness in Israel. Hath he seen any perverseness in Israel? And so Yahuwah Aluah is with him. That's why we want to be a part of the remnant. Verse 22.
Aluah brought them out of Egypt. He had, as it were, the strength of an unicorn.
All right. So now, this gathering out of Egypt, this was when the children of Israel were coming out of Egypt and entering into the land of Moab. Right? We know that there is another Egypt coming. And we know that we are in spiritual Egypt as well. So the remnant will be those who will be coming out of Egypt. So we have to be righteous coming out of Egypt. Verse 23 is very important as well.
Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what at Aluah wrought.
What's important in this one? There is no enchantment against Jacob. So the enchantments that they're trying will not work against his people.
Yep.
The divination that they're trying, it's not going to work against his people. When I say his people, I mean his righteous remnant. It will not work. So that is why it's very important that we are in righteousness. So even if we are upon them and they try their divination on us,
It will not work.
it will not work. Yes? We go among them and that PCR test, some of our people have taken that PCR test. If no iniquity is found in us, it will not work. The ill and the evil that they think or thought of doing against our people, it will not work. There is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there divination against Israel. And according to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what art Alua wrath? Because we know that some of our people might be polluted, and people got to see how the people are affected and these people not affected. Because there is no enchantment against Jacob and no divination against Israel. I wonder if people understand what we're saying here.
Hey, Brother B.
Yes, bro.
What I'm seeing here is the fact that there is no divination against Israel or no enchantment against Jacob. That is already is. Nothing changed. But we are the one who are supposed to live accordingly to meet it. That is it. So we have to get our life in order, because that which is there is already there. The Most High is not going now to prepare it. It is already a fact. So we are supposed to line up our life in righteousness, so we may fall right into the fact that there will be no divination or no enchantment against us. That is it.
All right. That's it. Yep. Verse 24.
Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion and lift up himself as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey and drink the blood of the slain. Continue.
25. Yeah.
And Balak said unto Balaam, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all.
Balak got desperate now.
So basically, he cannot get his way, so he don't want them to have their way either. He said, don't bless them, don't curse them.
Yeah, no, you cannot get them to be cursed. So he has given up on that now. So he says, okay, the next best thing is, all right, don't bless them then.
That's what I'm saying, because it is not going to work in his favor. So he also don't want it to work in their favor also. So don't bless them.
Yes. Continue.
Just don't want to give up, eh?
Yep.
But Balaam answered and said unto Balak, told not I thee, saying, all that Yahuwah speaketh, that I must do.
Continue.
And Balak said unto Balaam, come, I pray thee, I will bring thee unto another place. Peradventure, it will please Alua that thou mayst curse me them from thence.
So it still didn't give up?
Just like Satan with Job, he asked the Most High to give him a hint, and the Most High did it, and Job still didn't curse the Most High, and he come back and said, okay, skin for skin, will not give up.
28.
And Balak brought Balaam unto the top of Peor that looketh towards Jeshmon. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar.
All right, dealing with the live and I'm sorry.
What's that?
No.
Someone's mic is not muted.
Please mute your mic, please. All right. So let's just get a few scriptures about protection for the righteous. All right? Because we tell you this is a righteous remnant. It's a poor and afflicted righteous remnant. Let's go. Wisdom 5:15 to 16. Read, please.
But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with Yahuwah, and the care of them is with the Most High.
All right. That's the righteous there for you. That's why we have to strive for righteousness. Verse 16.
Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahuwah's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them.
With his arm shall he do what?
Protect them.
So when you have a bioweapon in this atmosphere that can easily be communicated from people to people, who do we look to protect us?
The Most High, we should find ourselves in his arm.
if we are
righteous.
okay. That's why it says neither Jew nor Gentile. That's what it means. It's righteousness through Messiah, which is absolutely important.
May I say something real quick? It might sound a bit strange,
Yeah.
but I'm just seeing it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let us strive for righteousness more than anything else. And whatever else we are striving for, it will come as a result of we receiving righteousness. Because sometimes we can try to go ahead of ourselves, trying to see more, know more, understand more. And righteousness is not a part of it. So let's double down and make sure that that which we are seeking for is righteousness. And anything that we are seeking for, it will come after we receive that which is righteous. Because since we have to be righteous, so we can be covered under his arm, that should be our main focus, especially time like now.
All right. Well said. Well said. Ecclesiasticus 34:13. Sirach 34:13. Read, please.
The spirit of those that fear Yahuwah shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them.
Continue.
Whoso feareth Yahuwah shall not fear nor be afraid, for he is his hope.
Shall not
Bless-
fear. Shall not fear nor be afraid. No matter what is upon this earth, for he is his hope.
Hope.
And this is for those who fear Yahuwah. We did a teaching on the fear of Yahuwah previously. Verse 15.
Blessed is the soul of him that feareth Yahuwah, to whom doeth he look, and who is his strength.
All right. So when you think about all this and people are saying, okay, this bioweapon, this and bioweapon, that. Who do we look for? We fear Yahuwah and nothing else that can come on this earth. We look to Yahuwah because he is our strength. Verse 16.
Looks like you're frozen.
It is?
Brother B? Okay, 16.
Yeah.
For the eyes of Yahuwah are upon them that love him.
Stop. Stop. The eyes of Yahuwah are upon them that love him.
Love him.
If you love him, you will keep his commandments. These are those whose his eyes are upon. If you are not in obedience to the Most High and watching this, if you are a Christian and watching this, it's the commandments that show that you love him. All right? His eyes are upon those who keep his commandments, those that love him. And those that love him and keep his commandment, he is what? He is
their mighty protection and strong stay, a defense from heat.
Whoa. And a cover?
And a cover from the sun at noon.
Continue.
It is getting blurred. My bandwidth is going, Brother B. Okay, it is
Okay.
back. A preservation from stumbling and an help from falling.
All right. So in this time, more than ever, we need a mighty protection. And we need a strong stay. A defense from everything. Cover from everything. Preservation from stumbling and help from falling. Verse 17.
He raiseth up the soul and lighteneth the eyes. He giveth health, life, and blessing.
All right. So this is what we need. That's why we love him and keep his commandments. Yeah?
Brother B.
Yeah.
Let me look back on verse 17 here.
Yeah.
He raiseth up the soul, 1, and lighteneth the eyes, 2. He giveth health, life, and blessing. So do we see any place here for a doctor or medication, all those stuff? I don't see. Sometimes one might see me sounding too harsh, but it's just that we cannot find any excuse than to believe that we have to walk like the Messiah. If we are
Yeah.
saying that we are living like he lived, he did not go for any medication. We see here he who raised up the soul and lightened the eyes, he giveth health, not the doctor, not
Yes.
medication. He giveth
Yeah.
health, life, and blessing.
Yeah.
We are the one who are not walking in our calling, so we can see and experience all these things that is already there for us. We are the ones who are lacking. We need to get up, get ready to understand what these verses are saying to us and just start doing them. Even if they come as a result, it is righteous. Let's just start doing it, seeking, just be righteous.
Yes. Because look at this one. He giveth life. The promise of this vaccine
is life.
Is that yeah,
it
can prevent you from dying. You got it?
Yep.
It's Most High giveth life. Why are they afraid of their lives? Yeah, we see the health already. They're afraid of their lives. And they look to this vax for good health. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Job 36, 5-21.
But before I get there, Brother B, you see the part where we have health. Even if they are healthy, they are still going to get this thing. You know? So it's like they are trading your health for sickness.
Yes.
That is how blind people are. I mean, it is just, wow.
Yeah, and we were listening to a broadcast yesterday when it was shown that people who have had this coronavirus disease had developed the greatest immunity that you can have.
Wow.
And many of the people who have gotten the disease say they are going to get the vaccine because they have had the disease, not knowing that they are destroying the protection that they have had from their natural immune system.
Exactly. Because since they were they recover, that means it is working.
Yes. I think one of the person said it's up to 17 years immunity they have received. And that is why you don't see any one of them talking about any immunity from those who have had the CV. They don't want people to know. Because they still want them to go and take this thing.
It is not about the sickness. It is about their vaccine. That is it.
Yeah, don't say the word, please.
Okay, their vac.
Don't want them to strike this video. Anyway, Job 36 verse 5, did I say? Yeah.
36:5.
Read, please.
Behold, Allah is mighty, and despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom.
Yeah.
He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor.
Oh, remember from last week? Was it last week or the week before? We're telling that it's a poor man thing.
I think it's before last.
It's a poor and afflicted thing. I was telling someone yesterday that it's hidden a lot of places in the scripture that this thing is it's about the poor. So those of us at this time when we should be striving for riches are striving for we should be striving for righteousness as striving for riches. We are on the wrong side of the coin. You give it right to the poor. Verse 7.
He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous.
Stop there. Stop there. And remember, we said at that time, we also said whenever he speaks about the poor, not too long after you see the word righteous coming after it.
Yep.
Right away. So it's a poor, it's like, it is very difficult to be righteous if you are rich or actually comfortable. Hard to be righteous. Easier to be righteous when you are poor, because there is somehow this correlation in scriptures between the poor and righteousness. Go ahead.
But with kings are they on the throne? Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted.
All right.
And And if they be bound in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction, then he sheweth them their work and their transgression that they have exceeded.
So if the righteous stumble and go into sin, he will show them their sin. Right? And verse 10.
Yep. He openeth also their ear to discipline and commandeth that they return from iniquity.
That is the chastening here that we get. All right? The rough up that we get when we start going through hard times and we start telling people, boy, I'm going through a rough time. That's the discipline.
Yep.
For you to return from your iniquity. All right, here's the thing. Two things now. After he shows them their iniquity, they either obey or they disobey. Let's see. Verse 11.
If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasures.
But, verse 12.
But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge.
Let me tell you something here. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They shall die without knowledge. The Bible keeps speaking about the simple. I wonder if have you ever come upon this term, the simple. The simple, how long shall you do this simple ones, etc. The simple are those people in this world. They just live and they are naive and they have no wisdom. They just live. Yeah? It says, if they do not obey, they are going to die without knowledge. So it's through your chastening that you receive knowledge. So that you can turn from iniquity. But you have to obey the chastening. But if you don't obey, you're going to die without knowledge. You're not going to get the understanding or the knowledge that is necessary to get you out. 13.
But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them.
Verse 14.
They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean.
Verse 15.
He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ears in oppression.
All right, see the poor again?
Yep.
That is who he delivers. Yeah? And opens their ears in oppression. So they listen while they are being oppressed. Verse 16.
Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place, where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on thy table should be full of fatness.
All right. Verse 17.
But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked, but thou shalt fulfill the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee.
All right. So, this is what we're saying for us in the end times. Are we going to be in righteousness? Are we going to fulfill the judgment of the wicked? Yes? Are we going to be judged? Is justice going to come down hard on us? It's our choice. Verse 18.
Because there is wrath, beware lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee.
So what we are saying here, the righteous, there are those of us who decide that we are going to take on the narrow path. Are we going to walk out the righteousness? And when we are chastened, when the word comes to us, we take action and we change. Or are we going to continue in unrighteousness? Because remember, verse 18, there is wrath. Don't forget. And don't forget this verse. This brings to mind this verse, which perfectly connects here. Romans 1:18. Read, please.
For the wrath of Allah is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
All right, so if you know the truth and you're still walking in unrighteousness, The wrath of Allah is revealed from heaven against you.
Yep.
You have to turn. And this is what this is saying. Because there is wrath, beware lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Then, when you are taken away, there is nothing to turn it back. Nothing. Nothing can deliver you.
So, Brother B,
Yes, bro.
so because there is wrath, we should beware lest lest he take thee away with his stroke. And then a great ransom cannot in no way deliver thee.
Yeah.
So if this MOB that's going on, when they go and take it, no ransom, nothing at all can reverse it. It is going to be irreversible. That is it.
Some people think that there is a thought that the Most High's mercy will be on some people. Yeah. There is a thought that his mercy will be on some people. And this is something that I've thought about and say, hey, you know, I need to dig further to see if, you know, some people might just receive his mercy. Who knows? Who knows where he draws the line, right, Wayne?
Well, he is the Most High and he do whatever pleases him.
Exactly.
So,
you know,
with that thought, it leaves us to really dig to make sure that, you know, we are on the right path, and if not, we have to make correction, change and adjust to that which is correct.
Yes.
Because since he is the Most High and he's going to do whatever pleases him, we are the one who have to be wrong. So while seeking diligently, whatever is there to know, we will know and we will adjust as time goes by.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So verse 19 says,
Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength.
Not all your riches cannot deliver you when the time comes for his wrath. Continue.
Desire not the night when people are cut off in their place.
Take heed.
Take heed, regard no iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction.
All right. This is very important. Regard not iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction. Because the way of truth comes with affliction. And most people do not want to partake, don't want to be partakers of affliction. So they rather choose a life of sin, a life of iniquity. But he's warning you, take heed, because when my wrath comes, there is nothing that can deliver you. Right, bro?
Yep.
All right. All right. So we're going to see the Most High rescuing righteous YASHARAL. All right. Did I see? Yeah. The Most High rescuing righteous YASHARAL from its own people. Because right now, this is what is happening on this earth. Our own people all over the world, our own people are polluting us. Our own people. If you notice, the people who are giving this vax are the nurses, local nurses who are among the population, who are among the population of our people, local nurses who are giving this this sorcery. So, YASHARAL'S 13, read from verse 17, please.
Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them.
8, continue.
And say, thus say Yahuwah Allah, woe to the women that sew pillow to all armhole, and make kerchief upon the head of every statue, to hunt souls. Will he hunt the soul of my people, and will he save the soul alive that come unto you?
That's so pillars. That's very hard to understand verse. A lot of people try to understand it, but what is actually speaking about? It's speaking about witchcraft. All right? Make kerchiefs or veils upon the head of every statue to hunt souls. This is similar to what is happening today. Make kerchiefs, veils upon the head of every statue, means every height, small and great. Tall, short, every statue, every size of persons, to hunt their souls. Same thing that they're doing with this thing, putting in their hands today, is hunting the souls. Every statue, they are reaching out to the point where they say 12 to 15, and they're testing it on youngsters as young as 6 years old. You will soon start hearing that you will have to start giving it to your babies. All right? Continue. Will you do what?
Scroll up, please. We are 18, right?
Yeah. Will ye hunt?
Okay, continuation. Will he hunt the souls of my people, and will he save the soul alive that come unto you?
All right. Will you hunt the souls of my people, my remnant? Verse 19.
And will he pollute me among my people for a handful of barley and for pieces of bread, to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by your lying to my people that hear your lies?
All right. So as we say, this might not be the exact similitude, but understand this is the same thing spiritually. They are polluting the people for food, money. We know money here will be equivalent to food, right? We hear how much money each nurse is receiving some places for vaccinating people. Yeah? It's a lucrative job. So they are polluting these people for money, to slay the souls that should not die. These are set apart people they are polluting. All right?
So Brother B.
Yeah.
So that means what that is actually saying, for everyone who did the act, it is he or she is as bad as the person who received it then.
Yes.
So the person who received it, that's one gone, and the person who give it, that's another one gone.
No. Persons have repentance. Those who do it.
Okay.
If you do this thing, if you do this thing and then you're getting it's coming to you now that it was wrong, and you repent,
oh, yeah.
You don't do it again.
Yeah.
Then repentance is open to you. But what we're saying that some of the pollution, that's why we're telling you, even like with this PCR test, etc., it's not gonna work on the people. It's not gonna stain the people. It's not gonna mar the people. And that's why when people say we don't know how the Most High, how His mercy will go, I'm sort of looking at it that way, because the Most High is saying here that they have already done this thing on His people. Right? Remember, this is a case of them already doing this thing to His people. And He's now coming and speaking about it. So those who should not die, they have polluted. And those that should not live, these are those who are not taking this thing. Right? Because we saw even here in Jamaica with our PM, when you dissect the video, you see clearly that that was not taken. And there are other instances of people not taking it. And who are those who are administering it? The same nurses who are administering it to other people.
Oh. So basically they choose who die and choose who live, basically.
Yes, those who are not they choose, those people tell them and they do the act.
Yeah.
They carry out the act of pretending that they are giving these people, so those people shall live. But the other rest of the people, they are polluting those people for money.
Wow.
It's the same spiritual principle here.
Deception is high.
Yep. Wherefore, thus saith Yahuwah Alua. Continue, verse 20.
Wherefore, thus saith Yahuwah Allah, behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith he there hunt the soul to make them fly, and I will tear them from your arms, and will let the soul go, even the soul that he hunt to make them fly.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I will let the souls go.
Even the soul that they hunt. Yep.
So you see the Most High is,
Showing his mercy there.
yes. So that is why it's a hunt for righteousness. It's righteousness that opens these doors of mercy. Yeah? Continue with 21 and you'll see.
21.
Yeah.
Your curses also will I tear, and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
You see that?
There's one thing to really look and take it into consideration. And when he say my people,
Yes.
so you see that my is very important.
Righteous people in the end time. This, in that time, was speaking about Yasharal. Yasharal today, it is not all Israel who are of Israel. Yasharal today is the remnant, the set apart remnant. All right, where were I? Oh, verse 22.
22. Because with lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked way, by promising him life. Wow.
All right. With lies, ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked ways, by promising him life.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that one is very, very clear. I don't know for anyone else, but I see it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
It is just right there standing out.
Verse 23.
Therefore, ye shall see no more vanity, nor divinations, for I will deliver my people out of your hand, and he shall know that I am Yahuwah.
Yes, no more vanity, nor divinations. Remember, we're talking about end time divination, sorcery, and enchantments.
Brother B,
This is what, yeah, go ahead.
next thing I'm seeing here, even from verse 23, therefore ye shall see no more vanity, nor divination, for I will deliver my people out of your hand, and he shall know that I am Yahuwah. That is showing us that we should get ready and stay ready until that time.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a righteousness. It's a push to righteousness, to perfection. Dot every I's and cross every T's. Yeah? Just give up on this world. And that's basically it. It's just give up on this world. That's it. And then we will be able to walk in righteousness. All right?
That's what it takes, because that would be the beginning. When you do that, and then all these things will happen. You cannot be a part of this world and see any of these things. You have to give up on this world totally, and then from then we will see all these things that the Most High will show us. The thing that we will be seeing, receiving, is only after we give up on this world totally.
Yep, that's it. All right. Another case of righteous Yasharal being protected, but destruction now for the enemies. This is the same consistent thing, right? Righteous Yasharal protected, destruction for the enemies of Yasharal. Bamidbar 24, 1 to 25. Numbers 24, we're going right back again to Balak and Balaam, or Balaam. Read, please.
And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahuwah to bless Israel, he went not, as at other times, to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness.
All right, it said for enchantments against Israel. There is no enchantment against Israel, against Yasharal. Verse 2.
And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tent, according to their tribes, and the spirit of Aluah came upon him.
Order. Verse 3.
And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, had said, and the man whose eyes are open had said, he had said, which heard the words of Aluah, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel.
All right, before we go into this, let me just give something that came to mind that I always try to tell people. The gift of prophecy is not restricted to a nation or a person in a particular right belief. Prophecy is given to people from all over. And prophecy can be given to people who are not in truth. So a lot of our people here, Christians, I don't listen to any Christian prophecy. You have to listen to the prophecy, and then you match it up to see if it has matched up with scripture. All right? Because everyone, Balaam, or whatever his name was, I think he was an Aramite or something. He was not an Israelite. Okay? So let's continue. How goodly are thy tents?
How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the village are they spread forth.
As the valleys.
As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as the trees of line, are those which Yahuwah had planted, and a cedar tree beside the waters. He shall pour the water out of his bucket, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Aluah brought him forth out of Egypt. He had as it were the strength of an unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. He lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that curseth thee. And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he smote his hand together. And Balak said unto Balaam, I call thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast altogether blessed them these 3 times. Therefore, flee thou to thy place. I thought to promote thee unto great honor, but lo, Yahuwah had kept thee back from honor. And Balaam said unto Balak, Spake I not also to thy messenger? which thou sentest unto me, saying, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of Yahuwah to do their good or bad of mine own mind. But that Yahuwah said, that will I speak. And now behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days.
All right, so this is what we are speaking about now, the latter days, what is going to come in the latter days, the end times, these times that we're living in. What is going to happen to the Moabites? The Moabites is something that has eluded me because the people who, some people are saying are the Moabites, I don't know. I really would like to know who the Moabites are because they take up a lot of end time prophecy. Yeah? A lot of end time prophecies, and the things that they are doing are a lot of what these people are doing today. I don't know. Continue.
And he took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor, and said, and the man whose eyes are open had said, he had said, which heard the words of Aluah, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but have his eyes open.
Go ahead.
Scroll up. 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Shep.
All right, so this is the Messiah, right? So in the end time, the Messiah will destroy Moab. Verse 18.
And Edom shall be a possession, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly.
So this matches now with Amos 9, verse 12, which says, Israel shall possess the remnant of Edom. Yeah. Continue.
Out of Jacob shall come, hold on there. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
That's the Messiah. Continue.
And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter and shall be that he perish forever.
All right. So Jacob, Israel is going to destroy all of these people. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, continue. The Kenites.
What number are we now?
21.
And he looked on the Kenites and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thou puttest thy nest in a rock. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be waste until Ashur shall carry thee away captive.
23.
And he took up his parable and said, alas, who shall live when Aluah doeth this? And ships shall come from the coast of Chittim, and shall afflict Ashur, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever.
Ships from the coast of Chittim. Oh. Continue.
And Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way.
All right. So we have now almost come to the end, except we have to look at Psalm 91 because that's what we are about. This is what we're living today. We are actually living Psalm 91. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High will be protected. He who does not dwell in the secret place, and we know to dwell in the secret place is to be in righteousness, denying self, walking in righteousness, loving the Most High, doing his commandments. All right? So this is the best way to end. where we are today in prophecy, Tehillim 91. We did it last week and the week before. It's one of those. It's a recitation now. Let us read it, please.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Continue, let's continue.
I will say of Yahuwah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Aluah, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
All right, so we can rest assured that he will be delivering us from all of these things. Yeah?
Yep.
Verse 4.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
All right, so he will cover you with his feathers. His feathers are very important. The feathers is a covering, the protection that is over us. So as we are in this time of the bioweapon, where they say that this thing is coming through sweat and it's coming through saliva, etc., his feathers will cover us and protect us from whatever. This is our hope. Yeah? His truth shall be thy shield and buckler, and his Torah will protect us. Verse 5.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
So we don't live fearful or walk fearful. Our hope is in Yahuwah. Continue.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
All right, we don't fear the pestilence, the ones that we cannot see, the so-called what they call the spike protein that can be transmitted. We don't fear that because, verse 7,
1,000 shall fall by thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
so it will affect others, but it should not affect those who are chosen and set apart of the Most High. This is our faith. This is our hope. Verse 8.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
So the wicked will be rewarded, but the righteous will stand firm and be protected by the Most High. And the Most High now is telling us from verse 9 the reason why all of this, why you don't have to fear and why you will be protected. Continue.
Because thou hast made Yahuwah, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
So he's our home. He's our all in all, our everything. We put all our trust in him, not in man. Verse 10.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
All right. No evil befall thee, no plague come nigh thy dwelling. You don't have to live in fear, petrified of all this thing that is happening upon this earth. Because, verse 11.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways.
Invisible protection by his angels.
But Brother B,
Yeah.
is it this same verse Satan was using on the Messiah up in the hilltop there?
Yes.
Say he should cast himself down?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So the thing with the Messiah, you do not act presumptuously. So because I know I have protection, you go and you show off and tempt the Most High. Right,
Yep.
Rain?
Yeah, like it goes seat and walk right into the, hey, I'm protected. I can go anywhere. I could do this. I could do that.
All right. That's it.
Leave it alone.
What's that? Delo. Sounds like Delo. Can you mute your mic, please? Yeah, continue. Verse 13.
Is it 13 or 12?
Yeah, 12.
They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name.
All right, and there is the love again, because he has set his love upon me. This is what the Most High telling us now, why he's doing this thing. Because we set our love upon him. And if we love him, we do what?
Obey him.
If you love me, you keep my commandments. You obey him if you love him. All right, and because of that, he will set us on high. Because we have done what?
Known
his name. Yeah? You know, we don't call him G-O-D or the L-O-R-D or J-C. Those are false. We have known his name. And he said in the end, my people shall do what?
Who are called by my name?
My people shall know my name. So those who know his name are his people. You can't be calling him G-O-D and be his people. That's not his name. Yeah? Verse 15.
He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble.
Stop, please. Stop, please. Because he hath known my name. And because we have known his name, we are able to do what? Call upon him.
Right.
And then he will be able to answer because we called upon his name. Very important. If you don't know his name, how can you call upon him? Notice he said then, I will do what?
I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him.
All right. So this is what we are saying about this pestilence, this bioweapon thing. It's going to be here. But the people of the Most High in righteousness, that's why we have to strive for righteousness. We will receive invisible protection. He will be with us in trouble and he will deliver us and honor us. Not only deliver us, he will honor us. Verse 16.
With long life I satisfy him and shew him my salvation.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. All praises due to the Most High. Yahuwah Sabaoth, the great Aluah of YASHARAL. Okay, that was what we had to present today. So, bioweapon, pestilence, whatever. We do not go into fear. We go into belief or faith, hope. Strive after righteousness so that our hope cannot be dashed. Strive after righteousness so that we can receive his protection. So that is where we are today. Psalm 91. It's a decision. What will you do? Are you in his secret place or are you not? Will you strive after righteousness or will you not? When afflicted in this time and brought low, what will you do? Will you seek after understanding and knowledge? Will you seek after righteousness or will you seek to go after iniquity? If you go after iniquity, you will move from iniquity unto destruction. If you seek after righteousness, you will move from righteousness unto holiness, unto perfection, and into the arms of Yahuwah Sabaoth. And then he will say, he has found no perversion in you. He has found no unrighteousness in you. Therefore, he will protect you. He will guide you. He will keep you. He will send his angels to guard over you. He will put his feathers over you. He will be your protector, your shield, and your strength. Yes, Yahuwah Sabaoth is his name. Yeah. So, Brother Wayne, where is El Pedro? Before El Pedro runs away, we want to hear from him. Where is he? El Pedro.
Yeah, big brother. I don't run
Yeah.
away.
So almost every week we're asking for Pedro, and when we're looking, you're not here.
No, it was just last week.
Okay.
I had to attend to a patient somewhere. It was
Oh,
an
okay.
urgent. Yeah. I thank Yahuwah for this teaching, really, because it's mind-opening, it's enlightening us. We need to stay in Yahuwah. We need to hold on to the belief, hold on to righteousness. It's not an easy issue, but if we set our minds, our heart into this truth, we shall be saved. We shall be part of the remnant. Therefore, we need to stand fast. As Brother Brian was saying, I've faced people here who have actually gone into getting the vax. And I said, why'd you do that? These people I already spoke to. They are in churches. They said, no, because, God will save us at the end. So I said, had you not known the truth, it'll have been different. But now you knew and you still went for it. So how do you justify that? Because there is a difference between you having heard. There was a reason why you heard. That's the judgment. You heard the truth. You knew what this was. And once you're gone forever. There's no turning back. Once you have the jab, you cannot unjab it. So why do you go for it? I know because JC will have mercy on me. No, now you are playing with his mercy if that's what it is. So therefore, we need to hold on to the truth. We need to know and believe that he promised to protect us. We stay the course of righteousness so that we may qualify for his protection. Hallelujah.
Yada Yahuwah.
Yada Yahuwah.
That's it. All right. Who do we have? Brother Wayne.
Present.
Yeah,
Present.
That's Psalms 91. Brother El Pedro, how are you?
Used to be like that at school. Brother Wayne, present.
Yes, sir.
Here we are by the grace of Yahuwah. Thank you.
He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. That is where we want to be. And as we all know by now, before we could even get there, we have to first deny ourselves so we can accurately obey the Most High in all things, seeking the Most High forever. And all I want to say to us today, if there's any one of us here who is still having any issue in understanding what it takes to fully deny ourselves, we meet here again on the second day, the third day, and I think the fifth day. We really would go into deeper detail so we can understand it. We can all know what we are talking about, denying self. We can understand what it means to get ready and stay ready, because the time is coming when the Messiah will make that call, and he will not make that call and say, hey, I'm coming. It will be, hey, I'm here. So at that point, we will not have any time to go and get ready. We should be ready and waiting for that call. Now is the time. We have to make up in our mind to do it forever until we die. If we die while doing that, hey, that's righteous. If we are here alive, we will see some things that will be taking place, even in this world. So let's just get real serious, man. Let's know that we cannot have this world on our mind anymore. Whatever it is we did not get, let it go. We have done enough damage in this world to our soul, our thinking. They have done a number on the way we think. So now we are creeping out. Let's not look back and miss what is in this world. While we are going away from this world, we should be hating the things that we were doing. And if we do that, it will push us further to get away from this world system. That is where we need to be today, right now. We don't have any time to say, you know what, let me hold on some more. There is no time to hold on. So I'm encouraging each and every one of us. Let's get ready and stay ready.
Awesome. Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah. It's preparation time. Gotta be ready. All right. So, hope you all learned something from this teaching today. I want to thank my co-presenter, Brother Clevon, Brother Wayne, for being here with us. All right. So, a reminder of Just a Word Radio, our 24/7 radio station. That is where we continue the ministry. If you want to get an understanding, more understanding and more of our teachings, we are there 24/7. I am on the morning show, Rising with Truth, from 7 a.m. Central Jamaica time until 12 p.m. Central Jamaica time, which is 8 a.m. Eastern time to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And there you will get what should I say? Teachings, commentaries, news, music. You will hear from Brother Wayne. You'll hear from Brother El Pedro. You'll hear from Brother Shamuel. Yeah. So that is where the action is actually. All right. So justawordradio.com, that is our address. And if you want to reach us and to leave a message, you can go to justawordradio.com, and there is a message box on the homepage. You can drop us a message. All right. Great. And a reminder also of our other channels. We've got Just a Word. Where am I? Let me see if I can get them. Yeah. JustAWord.org. If you notice down the bottom, scrolling, JustAWord.org. That is our teaching website, and JustAWord.tv. JustAWord.tv is our video website. And of course, JustAWordRadio.com is our radio website. All right. So thanks once again for being here with us. Please like if you like, comment, and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to our channel. And share the content so that the word will go around. All right? Okay. Thanks once again for being right here with us here on Just a Word. All right? Shalom. Shalom. And don't forget, justawordradio.com. Okay.